And we're back now with shocking new body cam video showing the moment cops shut down a house party on Florida's Space Coast.
They say they were underage students drinking inside, and the bash was allegedly hosted by a principal. Christy's in the newsroom with the tale of the tape. Christy.
Yeah, and this really is a crazy one. Police say this was labeled as a white lie party. The kids inside were as young as 13 years old. And as you're about to see in this body cam video, it appears the principal and a teacher knew, but, didn't seem to care.
Put your hands behind your back.
This is the moment now former Florida principal Elizabeth Hill Brodigan was handcuffed in the halls of Roosevelt Elementary School. She and third grade teacher Carly Anderson were arrested after this wild house party in Cocoa Beach in January.
Well, I'm a teacher. Who the you put in that car?
Well, it's a kid, but they can't disclose.
I was here hanging out at this party. I mean, what the what's wrong with them?
Okay.
You guys gotta act better.
Do you want the truth? There was like 200 kids here drinking.
I've already known.
Drinking, okay? And you're drunk as well.
I'm not drunk.
Yes, you are.
Investigators say more than 100 teens were there drinking underage at the former principal's home.
I'm in this group chat with a bunch of kids at this party, and they're all sending videos of like everybody drinking, and there's like fights going on, and I know that everybody drove there, so I just wanted to let you guys know.
It prompted calls to 911 because of noise levels and dozens of cars on the street.
There's like this big party down the street, but they're like pulling in and out of people's driveways and like called me like a racial slur, and I'm afraid something bad's gonna happen.
Police called Hill Brodigan to come home and shut that party down. But a few hours later, police and fire rescue were called back to the home when a 17-year-old was shaking and vomiting on the front lawn. You can see the former principal walk out of her home to her driveway, then quickly go back in.
There was a big party with like 200 kids here.
No parents here? How old is this kid?
17.
This house belongs to the principal of Roosevelt.
After they checked the teen's vitals and okayed him to go with the officer, that's when Anderson approached the officer.
But I'm concerned.
And you're intoxicated too.
Oh, who cares? So I could get in your car and ride with you or call me.
Because he's 17.
And he was here drinking at a party.
Why are you yelling at me?
Because you're yelling. You're here with your boss having a party with 200 kids who are drinking. Get out of my face. Now.
Wow. Well, the former principal is facing charges for child neglect, contributing to the delinquency of a minor, and hosting that open house party. She remains suspended without pay. Meantime, Anderson, that teacher, also charged with disorderly conduct and disorderly intoxication. She just started at another elementary school yesterday, despite the case being open. But just moments ago, we did get word that she has also now been placed on leave. Adults behaving badly, right?
Yeah. Meanwhile, the parents of those children.
Oh, yeah.
Furious.
Oh, lots of people grounded, I bet.
Thanks a lot, Christy.
Let's go ahead and take a live look.
You teachers down there in Florida, boy, y'all teachers down there are straight up weirdos, boy. I swear, boy. A principal and a school teacher throwing up a party at the principal's house and having like, maybe 100 or 200 students there, minors there. Who in the hell, what kind of adult out there would want to think about throwing a party with a bunch of kids out there, man? Like, how lonely is you? Can look at these two right here and you can tell these two are a bunch of lonely people, man. Lonely. You teachers are just plain lonely, man. You principals, y'all got to be lonely out there, man. For someone to throw up, now a lot of people going to say like, well, they were just doing their parties. It's not like they sexually harassed him, this and that. You know, there's going to be some idiots out there that are going to make up excuses for these two. But come on now, man. You're going to serve these kids alcohol and everything like that and get them all drunk and everything like that. Like, to me, that's just plain weird, though, man. Especially if you're an adult. Who in the hell want to throw up a party and bring a bunch of kids over at your old house and celebrate with a bunch of kids, though? That's just weird, man. Because I know one thing: if I walked in a house and I'm looking around, I'd be like, why are there so much kids up in here? What in the world's going on up in here? What the hell? But the big question is, who snitched? Y'all saw someone made that phone call and someone snitched. I keep trying to tell y'all, you teachers out there, you principals and your teachers out there, I don't know why y'all get that in y'all mind thinking that no one's going to tell on you. Somebody in that crowd told. Someone in that crowd told, though. But I don't know why would any teacher out there would want to throw up a party like that, man. Like, that's just weird. And I've heard stories like these before. I've heard stories where teenager students throw parties at their own house, and they see some of their teachers coming up in there trying to throw a party with a bunch of teenagers. And look, kids be like, "What are you doing here? You're too old for that. You like 30, 40 something years old, and you come in here with a bunch of kids party." Because me, man, I wouldn't feel right, man, as an adult. Ain't no goddamn way that I'm gonna sit there and be part of a party where it's full of kids in there. And there's a lot of people that's like that. There's a lot of bozos, people like that in this world, man. They don't feel they don't feel bothered by that if they're surrounded by a bunch of kids. They don't care if it's like maybe 30 or 50 or 100 kids in there under the age 13 or 14 years old. They would still think it's cool. They'd be like, yeah, even though you're like 30 or 40 years old and you're partying with a bunch of kids that's like around age 13, 14 years old. Some people don't feel weirded out when they do that kind of shit, though. They don't feel weird. Me personally, if I want to go to a freaking party, I'm going to go to a party that's my age. But those two right there should have known better than that. They should have known better than that. That explains why these two are single. Because these two are weirdos. Y'all some weirdos for that, man. Y'all some lonesome people out there, man. I guess that's what lonesomeness do to people. They become desperate. Because I keep trying to tell y'all, man, these teachers and these principals didn't really have that kind of attention when they was teenagers. When they was teenagers, they was looked at as bookworm. They was looked at as nerds. They was looked at as the quiet ones. When you go to the cafeteria, you would see people like those sit at the table by themselves, eating their lunch. Nobody would really talk to them. Sometimes they get bullied. But other than that, these are the type of people that didn't really get that kind of attention when they was in high school. They didn't get that kind of attention when they was in high school and middle school. These kind of teachers didn't really get that kind of attention. So they still stuck with that mentality. They still stuck like, wow, man, I wish. But see, when they become adults, they still have that mind mentality of that attention. But now that they're adults and teachers and principals themselves, a lot of students and them giving them confidence, saying how beautiful they look and this and that, all that type of stuff, But if you women want to throw a party up that bad, then why y'all didn't go to a bar somewhere? Wouldn't y'all want to go to a bar somewhere where adults be at? Go to a bar or go to other clubs out there where you see real men out there? Good God almighty, boy. I don't know what's wrong with these women out there, boy. These women out there, I don't know, man. It's just crazy to me. It's crazy. And you two thought that no one in that party wasn't gonna tell on y'all. How stupid are y'all, man? Two stupid adults. And I'm glad that police officer, he sat there and checked that woman. Y'all saw at the end, that police officer checked that woman. Because his kids probably could have been in that party. So I'm glad that police officer yelled at that woman, yelled at that teacher. He even told her, he said, you drunk and everything, though. So you both were sitting there just having a party, getting drunk, and y'all. To me, that's embarrassing, man. That's embarrassing. Now y'all probably gonna get a record of that. Some of them kids out there gonna be questioned by the police, like, hey, did those ladies touch y'all the wrong way and this and that? I mean, the neighborhood looked like it was nice. It looked like an okay, nice neighborhood they was at. So why would you throw a party in that kind of neighborhood, especially when you know somebody around there, like neighbors or somebody gonna call the freaking police, especially when it's getting too loud? That's just plain weird right there, boy. You would think a principal wouldn't think like that. You would think a principal will have morals and stuff like that. But you know, these teachers, man, they don't have no morals. They don't have no limits. They don't have no nothing, boy. That was just plain stupid and retarded. And have a party out in the opening like that with a bunch of 100 students out there, and y'all thought that no one wasn't. No, the student played y'all. They played y'all. They got y'all fired. That's a damn shame. Not only that you can't even trust teachers, you can't even trust damn principals now. This teacher right here was in there with her boss. I would have told, you know, if that was my boss, I'd have been like, hey, boss, this is not a good idea. I'm just talking about if my boss was talking about, hey there, Jay, you think we should throw up a party with a bunch of minors? I'd have been like, hell no, motherfucker, what the hell wrong with you? You know, if we're going to throw up a party, let's throw up a party for adults. Why the fuck we going to throw up a party for children? Why would we want to do that? That's disgusting, man. What if something happened to these kids? What if it be a fight breakout? What if it be a fucking shootout or something? I'd be like, hell no, man. If we're going to invite kids over, man, we might as well should just go to a bar somewhere and drink and get drunk and get fucked up at a bar, at an adult's bar somewhere. Why the fuck do we want to throw up a party at your house, man, and bring in a bunch of fucking minors from school? Come on, man. You ain't thinking clearly, man. What is you on crack or something, man? You have that much obsession over fucking children? Bro, don't make me go to the goddamn fucking police on your ass, man. Like, real talk, bro. The fuck you got that kind of obsession, though? And that's what it looks like with these teachers, man. You know, you really got to be careful about what these teachers be saying, man. Especially when they thinking about wanting to become teachers. Oh, I love children, this and that. You know, you really can't take that word as a compliment no more. You got to really look at it and be like, you say you like children, that's why you like being a teacher? In what way do you like children? Do you like them that way or the other way? What do you mean by that? You really got to ask people those questions, even though they're not going to be truly honest with you about that. But god damn, boy. They need to change the damn rules about this shit. They might have to change the damn rules and just make every student just stay home and just do homeschool and just do through the computer stuff. Y'all remember when the coronavirus came out? All the students had to stay home on the computer at their house to be teach. They might just start doing that from now on, man, where they be like, no teachers and students are allowed to be 10 feet or 100 feet close to each other or whatever like that. They might have to come up with a new law about that shit, that no teachers can't have no eye contact with the students. They can't go nowhere near students. Because, you know, they got to come up with something, man. But y'all two was a bunch of idiots, though, man. Two dumbass bitches right here. Dumb bitches right here throwing up a party at a school, man. That's just ridiculous right there, man. That's just ridiculous. It's one thing to throw up a party at a school. That would have been normal. If they'd have thrown a party up at the school, that would have been normal, because it would not have been no alcohols there, nothing like that. But why would you throw a party at your house? That's some weird, creepy stuff right there. That's just plain weird. Gosh, boy, how lonely is you two? Y'all gotta be lonely, man. You two definitely gotta be lonely. For y'all to do something like that, y'all gotta be some lonely ass women to be doing something like that, man. Lonely. No man out there don't want to mess with y'all because y'all too much of a weirdo. Too much of a bunch of weirdos out there, man. And now you both done lost y'all job now, all because y'all made a stupid mistake by throwing up a party at y'all's house and bringing in a bunch of minors. Good God Almighty. That just goes to show, man. These teachers right here, man, is just dumb and retarded. They dumber than the students. They dumber than the students, because I told y'all they didn't really have that kind of attention when they was kids. They didn't go to parties and dance clubs when they was kids, because like I was saying, they was looked at as bookworms. Now that they're adults and now students give them good compliments and they brainwash these teachers, and these teachers, they get hypnotized and they fall for it and something like that. I wonder who idea was that, though, because one of these teachers got to be having an affair with a student. Gotta be. And, you know, the principal probably told the student, like, nah, that's not such a good idea, though. You know, and the kid probably persuade her to do it. They persuade one of these women to do it, though. But they should have had enough sense enough to know that, no, that's a bad idea. So yeah, this woman's got an affair with one of them students in there. These teachers got something going on with these kids though. Got to. God, boy, stupid and retarded. Anyway, peace.